Okay, so in today class we will learn about SFTP, right? So what is SFTP? You have any idea about SFTP server? What is SFTP and why we use SFTP server?
Is it like a secure server or something?
Yeah, it is a secured FTP server, right? So FTP server, basically, if you have heard about FTP server, so like people configure FTP server to place their files over the like server, right? And that is a file sharing method. You can configure FTP server and people can access that FTP server from any location if that is a live server, and if that is on premises, people can access that server from entire the network and they can place their file over the server, right? But FTP server work on port number 21, that is unsecured, right? You can say that is not secured, right? But when you want to secure it, you have to use SFTP server, right? So all Linux server by default work like SFTP server, all right, and that is already enabled through the SSH, all right. So same protocol that use, all right. Let me share my screen. Okay, so let me share my screen, full screen. Okay, now are you able to see my screen?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so if I talk about SFTP server, right? So like I have access the server to. So SFTP server basically use, right? So see, SFTP server basically use to provide a secure file transfer protocol, right? So that people can securely place their file over the internet or over the network. Why people use secure FTP? Because when you will use just like unsecured, right? So if you will transfer your file from one location to another location, right? So when you will transfer that file, if that file not be a secured, any hacker, anyone can decrypt that data and they can steal your data, right? If it is not secured. But when you will use secured, right? So during the transmission of that file, what it will encrypt the data, right? It will encrypt the data by default, right? So during the transfer from one location to another location, right? So you don't have to worry about the security. It will be the secured. So here in this class, we will learn about SFTP, right? Secure transfer file transfer protocol, right? So in Red Hat, so FTP SFTP use protocol number 22. I hope you are already aware about the protocol number 22, port number 22, right?
Yeah.
That is SSH, right? So SSH is a secured protocol, right? When you do SSH, that is already a secured, right? So SFTP also use the same protocol as SFT, that SSH, right? So let me just connect to the server. All right. So this is the server where we'll do the practice. Okay. So let me increase the font. Okay. So this is the server we will do the practice. So I'm just trying to log in with the root. So for all the configuration and all, remember you should have a root access or you should have a sudo privilege to configure all these configurations, right? So I have accessed this server through my root account. So I already have all full access. So see, in SFTP, right, whatever you have, the user you have created in your system, right, all these things, whatever users I have created on the server, that is by default a SFTP protocol, right? So if I share, right, if I share just share my, this is FTP tool, right? So FTP tool, this FTP tool you can use to connect any server. So how you can you can use this? tool to connect your server. So see, till now I have not created any user, right, on the server, but I'm just trying to access that through FTP, right, client. So that IP is 192.168.1.17, right? So username was root, password was Red Hat. Okay, so protocol is 22, right? This is the port. And let's connect and see I'm able to access that or not, right? So, okay, see, I am able to access that server successfully, right? And this is my server. So where I landed, because in the user home directory, whatever user you will access through the network, that you can access. See here, and if I want to go up, I can click here. I can see, I can browse whole the server, right? Whole server on the browser only. I can delete anything. I can create anything. I can do anything, right? On the graphical mode, just like I want to copy any file or anything, I can do that, right? Like if I go in users here, right? And users or bin downloads, users nursing, and I can just go on downloads, right? All this file is there, right? If I want to copy anything I want to copy, I can copy here, right? Anything I can copy here from, just like, let's suppose I'm just going to copy it in my home directory where it is root, okay? And in root, I can copy it. So see, I can scroll, see, it's copied successfully here, right? On the server. Inside root, I have one folder. So let's copy inside this. See, now this is copied successfully, right? So this is how people use SFTP client. But why I'm showing this? Because I'm just trying to tell you, all right, by default, all the user which is created on the Linux server, that user will also work SFTP server, right? Means at SFTP user. You can say that user will also work as a SFTP user, right? And that user can roam anywhere. See, he can go anywhere in the server, right? Let's suppose I'm just disconnecting it and just trying to log in with a normal user. Let me create first password home. Let me just check. Okay, the username is here. P8OS passwd Nirmal, and I'm just giving a Red Hat password here also. Right. So I had just authenticated with the password, and let's connect with the Nirmal user. Right, and password is same 22. Let's connect. Stabilize new connection. See, now I'm connected with Nirmal and I'm able to see my home directory. Whatever in my home directory, I can see here, right? See, data.txt and all. If you will log in on the server here, Nirmal, you can do ls. See, data.txt and test.txt, two file is there, and rest other file is hidden files. It started with dot. All right. So all this file is there, right? I can delete this. I can just, like, if you want to delete, if you want to edit, you can do anything. See, delete it, right? But this is a normal user. If you not talk about the root, I have logged in with normal user now. But this normal user also can go and he can also roam in whole server. See, he can go, he can see all the files, directory, all the configuration in the server. This user also can see, because user also have a read access permission in most of the directories. Yes, no, right? Respond. Now we are alone, so we can talk too, right?
Right,
So,
yeah, yeah.
right, so he can access it. But so this is the place where people started using SFTP jailed environment. So jailed environment, if you just like understand the name jailed, what is jailed means you in real scenario, if we talk about the jailed, right? So what is jail? People means prison, right?
Yeah.
Jail means prison, right? So people, you can put people in the prison and they will not able to go anywhere, right?
Yep.
Whatever room you have defined them, they can stay inside that only, and they can do inside that room anything, all right? Anything they can do, but inside that room only. They cannot even come out without the permissions. Understand?
Yeah.
So this is the place where people started using SFTP jailed environment, right? So that they can give them a separate environment and separate location to the people in a jailed environment. So in today class, we will learn how we can configure or how we can create a SFTP jailed environment, all right? And how we can use that as a production, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So complete this task. You understand SFTP background, why people
Yeah.
use?
Yeah.
Right, right. So people basically used to upload files over the network, right, in a secure manner. So let's go on a blog where I have created all the steps. All right. So you can follow these steps. All right. So yeah, definitely this is this one I created in long way before. So maybe some discrepancy and some right mismatch can be happened because due to OS, but we will figure out in the live class only, right? So the very first thing, you can run yum update, but remember, if you are not okay to run yum update, because once you will run yum update, it will upgrade or update your server with the patching and all, right? So it will upgrade anything, right? So it will upgrade all the package. So don't do that, right? If it's not necessarily, all right? If your server is already up to date, that you can go, right? So I have logged in on the server. Let's do from the scratch. See, now I am just going to log in on the server. Which server I will use as a SFTP user, right? So I have just logged in Red Hat. So this server we will configure as a SFTP. So remember, so by default already SSH package is installed. So you don't have to install that package and all. But yeah, you can run this command so that you can make sure if any dependency is missing, that can be installed, right? So you can run yum install open SSH hyphen server. So by default, this package you will find is already installed. But see, another package or upgrade is available, right? So upgrade is available, so it is upgrading. So let's upgrade it. Okay, so now this our package is upgraded, right? So once your package is upgraded, you can just configure it, start configuring, right? So where you can configure, right? The first step is you can install the SSH package, right? So second steps, you have to create a user and group. Which user and group you want to, right, use as a SFTP user? Okay, so let's suppose I'm just going to use this same user group add, then SFTP underscore users. So this is the group which I will use, right? So why we are creating group, right? So there are both options. If you want to create individual user, that you can also use. If you want to create multiple user, but in real scenario, if we talk in the companies, in the organizations, mostly you will have you will create a group. Why? Because in one company maybe you can have a multiple user who is working on the same projects, right? So you have to define multiple user in the same project so that they can use that share and they can work on it. Understand? So let's create a group, right? So I have created group now, right? SFTP group is created. Let's go and create a user for SFTP, right? So see here, this is the important thing, right? So create a user. So here I'm just creating this. So normal user is already there. So see, user add space hyphen G. G means I'm adding this user into the group which we have created. And this user will not log in on the server. He will, that user will not log in on the server. He will only use SFTP, right? He will not log in on the server. So here, I'm just going to give some new name. All right. nscloud. Let's suppose I just given a new name nscloud. Okay. And the username also nscloud. All right. So I just uses this and let's create it. Okay. So see, this user is also created, but this directory is not still not there, right? This directory is not there. Why? Because we have not created this directory, right? Which we want to share. So let's see, the hyphen G is SFTP user, hyphen false will display the user in SSH, disable the SSH shell for the users, right? And hyphen M and D, it will ignore to create the directory, home directory, right? Because once it will create the home directory, it will create in the default location. So we ignore that. We don't want to create home directory for this user because we want to give that directory, home directory for user, this one, right? This directory we will provide. So right now this is not accessible. So let's create that. Let's create this directory mkdir space p and this one. So means now we created directory inside opt, this, right? SFTP, and inside this SFTP we have created this nscloud folder, right? So we will give access to this SFTP folder. This SFTP will be the shared location and this will be the home directory for that user. Okay. Now next, create a SFTP directory and change owner and permissions. So the very first we change it. Now mkdir SFTP and data. Now we, let's suppose we wanted to give mkdir slash opt SFTP nscloud and data, right? See, this is not mandatory, but if you want to separate a data folder, you can create it. Okay, so I just created it and cloud, and now you have to give this permission very carefully. All right, so in this ch on slash opt SFTP nscloud, right? So I just given here, right? So see, you don't have to change this one, right? You don't have to give this ownership to this folder. You have to give fold this on the root folder, which you want to create as a root, right? So I just given this one on the nscloud ch on. So ls hyphen ld, if you check opt sftp nscloud, you will see the user permission is root and group owner for this folder is sftp user. Okay. Now inside, all right, inside the data folder, you have to again change the ownership here. Now remember, this folder will be accessible through the user, right? Cloud. So what on this folder, ownership should be for the user, right? And also for the group, right? So we change it to this, all right? Because this ns cloud will write data inside the folder, right? That data folder. Okay. Next, you have to give permission chmod 755 on the normal folder or nscloud folder. Chmod 755 on OPT, SFTP, and nscloud. Okay, here because this is the accessible, and you can give full permission on the data folder. See again 770. Why 770? Because who can write data inside this data folder? Who can write? Who can write? Nirmal can write, or any of the user who is member of SFTP user, they can write data inside this data folder. Okay, so I have given 770, and if the any user is not member of this SFTP user, they cannot even access this folder. They will not able to access this folder, right? That's why it is 0. Okay, now next, change the configuration, right? According to the file. So here are two options, right? So if you want to go for the user specific, or if you want to go with the group specific, all right, you can choose your configuration. But here we are not going for the user, we are going for the group, right? So we are going for the group, so we have to open this configuration. So where is the configuration file for SSH? vim ssh the underscore config file. This is the file which stored SSH configuration. Okay, so let's open it. So here in this file, you can see all the configuration. All right, and you have to just see define the password authentication is yes. This should be S only. All right. If it will no, then this will not work, right? And then you have to use the key for one accessing. So just go down in the last. So here you will find one option called subsystem. All right. So here in subsystem, see it's written SFTP server, and this is the environment. So you have to change this, right? You have to change it to internal SFTP, right? So you have to change it to internal SFTP. So I'm just going to YYP and create one more line and block the existing one. So see, always make a habit, always just comment the existing line and create new line for yourself, right? So that if you want to revert, you can revert it easily, right? So just delete this line and use this internal SFTP, right? You have to change this value to internal SFTP. And after that, you can just add this entire configuration. Right. See in here it is already written, right? Match user, all these things. It is already written, but you can use your own, whatever you have to take. Okay, so here what understand, just try to understand match group. So here we are configuring with the group, right? We are not configuring for the user. So if you will use user, you have to define here match user like this, right? So here, right, match user, and the username means if you have a 10 user, right? If you have a 10 user, then you have to create this 10 times, this configuration 10 times for 10 user. But if you have a 10 user and that is a common department, all right, you can simply create one group and you can add all that group, that user into the group, and you can use match case group here, right? And you can easily define. So let's understand this one. See, force command, internal SFTP, password authentication, yes, chroot, percentage home directory. So here it's saying percentage home directory, but we are not going to use percentage home directory here, right? So let's use the actual location, right? Where is the location? SFTP nscloud. So this is the location which we will use. right? Yeah. chroot directory. Chroot directory means which directory you want to allow for this all users, right? Where they will stay, right? So, okay. Let me see any other top thing is there. Okay, so you can use force command internal SFTP space -d data, right? So understand this. If you will define -d data, so means the user will have access, but he will directly land in this user, this directory. So let's not define this, and we'll define this in a last. Okay, and let's save it. We saved it. Okay, so now force command ability. See, we have, if you want to want user landing in the folder inside home directory, you can use force command internal sftp -d / whatever the folder name you want to use. All right, so we have left this one. We will check after the configuration again, right? So after that, just restart. So now your service has been restarted. Okay, and we have created one user also, but we have not created password. Create password ns cloud, right? So let's give Red Hat only to this so that we can remember easily. Okay, so now this user is also configured. So logically, let's go on the next tab. Let's go on the next tab once here. So I have created one more tab. Okay, so let's do SSH ns cloud as the rate 192.168.1.17. So what will be the result? What do you think? I will able to access or not? Let's give the password and see. See what it is saying.
It allows SFTP connections only.
Right. So SSH is not allowed because why SSH is not allowed? Because when we configure server, sorry, when we created user cloud, see, we defined here the cell for it as bin false means this user will not able to log in on the computer. He can only access that for FTP file, right? So let's log in with that also. So how we can log in with FTP? You can just SFTP. You can use SFTP command, or you can also use FTP command is not installed, so you can use SFTP. So SFTP command, and now here you can give the password and see you are able to log in or not. Now see, it is saying connected, right? And if you run ls command, you will see a data folder here, right?
Yeah.
No, but let's see what will happen if we'll run here on the actual server. It will run ls slash. What you will see, all these things you are able to see, right? Yes, no.
Yes.
If you will run on here, what you will see? Nothing. You are only able to see your data folder. Yes.
Right.
Why?
Yes.
Because now you have restricted to use this folder only, right? Let's create folder here and see what is happening. mkdir test data or test one, right? Let's suppose test one, right? And see what it is happening. No, you cannot create data anything inside this. Let's create touch abc abc.txt. See, it is saying invalid command. Okay, it is saying invalid command because SFTP you cannot use all the commands. Some command is there. You can get, you can put all these things, right? So let's do one thing and see ls. So let's go inside the data folder. D8 data, and tab will also not work on the folder. So if we'll run pwd command here, now remote working directory is data. All right. If we'll do ls here, nothing. Here, if you will try to create a data folder test1, you will able to create. Why? Because you have permission on this folder, but you don't have permission to create data outside of this folder, right?
Right.
Understand?
Yeah.
Great. So let's suppose now you created one, just touch test test1.txt folder here. Okay, touch is also not working. So let me do one thing. Let me ls/opt SFTP. All right. See, on command line, I have to see all the command which is working perfectly. But if you want to just download anything, you have to run get command, put command, and put command, all these things, right? So let's suppose I'm just trying to access same thing, or I just want to create one folder here in my directory. Right, so a.txt is there, and if you want to copy here, right, let me just log out from here and see, we have song.txt right here. So let's log in this on this server, Redhat, put song.txt and see what will happen. Permission saying permission denied. So if we run data and then run same command, put song.txt, and what it will happen, it will upload it will be uploaded. See, it's uploaded from my local server to
SFTP server.
SFTP server. See, I'm able to get here, and in the same time, if I want to download anything from SFTP server to my local server, I have to run just like get command song.txt like this. See, it will be downloaded, right? So through command you can use like this, but except administrator, no one use this all this command on the terminal, right? SFTP. They normally use FileZilla or some SFTP client, all right? Just like and as for Windows, they use WinSCP as FileZilla. There are multiple SFTP tool in the market. They can use anyone, right? So here, how I can access? Let's access from FileZilla also and see we are able to access or not, right? nscloud, Redhat, port number 22. Quick, stabilized. Okay. See, he what it is saying, connection is successful. Okay. What it is saying, nscloud, let me one. Okay, that IP is not correct. It was, yeah, see, now I'm able to see the same thing, right? Data folder here. And if I will try to upload anything outside the data, it will not upload. All right, directly listening is okay, but permission is denied. If I will try to upload inside the data folder, I will able to upload. See, and if I want to download, I can download. If you want to do, I can do anything inside the data folder, but I cannot do anything. And if you will see the root, right? So inside the root, only able to see the data folder, not able to see any of the user file or any home directory or any configuration file from the server. So this is the reason why people use SFTP jailed environment, right? To provide a secure location or separate location on the server for FTP or SFTP users. Okay, understand?
Yeah.
Great. So let's do change that direct configuration and see again the difference, right? So now if I log in on the server here, I'm able to land directly in the where slash, right? And I'm able to see data folder inside. So let's go and let's change the configuration on the server and see. So here I just wanted force command. Force command means, all right, I just wanted to jump, just like I created a server and I wanted to use, I wanted to land that user directly in the data folder. So what I configured, I use -d for directory, and then I define the data folder where that user will land directly when they will log in on the server. So let's save it and let's restart the configuration SSHD, right? And let's log in on the server again and see. Okay, so let's run pwd command now, where I'm working in the data folder directly, but previously where I was working in the root folder. Understand? If you do,
Yeah.
you will see all the things inside data folder, whatever there is there, you can, right? And the same thing here also. If I will just log in again, see where I will logged in. Directly I landed in the data folder, right? Understand?
Yep.
So this is basically how you can leverage SFTP server, all right, to provide a secure location and secure configuration on for the users in your actual environment, right? In actual companies and everywhere. Okay. So any question? Any question here? Any configuration? Any question?
No.
No? Okay, great. So do the practice and let me know, all right? And for this, if you face any issue in the SFTP, and you can just ping me. Okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, just let me stop sharing.